Salutations, everyone, and thank you for watching episode 59 of DiabeticRadio.com. In today's episode, I want to talk about what it means to me to have a cure. At some point within the diabetic community, the discussion of a cure almost always comes up at some point, and you hear different individual answers as to what it means to have a cure for them. So I thought it would be nice to do it, to talk about that on my video. So let's before we do this, let's talk a little bit about what most dictionaries say, and what the dictionaries say in general is that it is a treatment that one takes for X amount of time that would reverse or alleviate symptoms of a disease, or eradicate or decimate whatever germ or virus or whatever that's invading in your body, because your own body is unable to do it on its own, and it needs some kind of chemical or man-made treatment. Well, not always man-made, but most of the time, serious stuff usually requires some kind of synthetic medication. And once that has been eradicated, or your symptoms has what they call now reversed, you can discontinue treatment and you are cured. Well, in terms of diabetes, again, actually I should have added this to my last episode, but here is why we have no cure for diabetes. Because the word cure implies that whatever treatment that you're doing is temporary. And in terms of diabetes, medication, whether it be medication or whether it be you're doing, you're trying to do it naturally, via herbs and exercise and things like that. These things, some people say natural herbs and exercise are cures, but when you look at it on a deeper level, they're not. Okay, because a cure implies that you won't really have to do those things anymore. You would have to keep doing it over and over to keep your diabetes in check. And I'm not, just to be sure, make sure that I am not implying in any way that we shouldn't be doing those things anyway. You know what I mean? I'm just saying from the standpoint of what it is to have a cure. Even with type 1s, there's a lot of drugs out now that are coming out for type 1s where if you're still making a significant amount of insulin, these drugs help to stop your autoimmune system from attacking the pancreas. But even that is a catch-22, because that's assuming that most doctors are on point and looking for those things. And you're lucky enough to have a doctor to catch it early, and you have a significant amount of beta cells that you can use, take opportunity to use some of these drugs. But even then, understand that once you get on those drugs, you're on there for life. And to me, that's, if you're on a particular regimen, whether it be medication or natural herbs, you're still on there pretty much doing that same regimen for the rest of your life. And to me, that is not a cure. What that means, it is a temporary solution to a current condition. That's all it is, you know. And as far as I've been reading, we are so far from having a cure. I mean, we have to understand that, doctors, research teams are really working hard trying to find the right drugs to cure diabetes without killing us in the process. There are so many things out there, elements that are so toxic and so dangerous to us as humans, even herbs. That's why I say we have to reevaluate what it is to be healthy, what it is to do natural, remedies and stuff like that. Because some herbs are dangerous enough to kill you as well. Not everything, people think herbs and they think, oh, it comes from the earth, it's natural, it's pure, it comes from God, yeah, we can eat as much as we want. And some of these things will kill you. And we can't be so quick to scream cure, especially if it only works for you, because what works for you may not work for someone else. Everyone's diabetic circumstance is different. Everybody's different. And also, let me tell you, before I forget, because everyone has the perfect thing that you need to get rid of your diabetes. And I gotta tell you something. First of all, you do not have to explain yourself to anyone as to how you got diabetes, why you're diabetic, etc., etc. One thing that really bothers me is that, and it's no offense to, people who have cancer or prostate cancer or any of these, life-threatening illnesses. There's a lot of talk, particularly in the vegan communities. You have all these vegetables and fruits that allegedly can cure, all these, diseases. But you don't see people flocking, banging on, people's door who's had chemotherapy. You should have ate more fruits and vegetables. You wouldn't be going through this chemotherapy right now. No one in their right mind would do that. No one in their right mind would tell a guy, you should have ate more, drank more milk thistle. Milk thistle is a herb that is supposed to help a lot of men with prostate trouble. You don't hear them say you should have had that and you wouldn't have gotten sick. It would be rude, right? Of course, and no one in their right mind would actually say that to someone who has cancer and someone who's, fighting for their life. Everybody's situation is different, and I don't understand why when people hear the word diabetes that they have the license, feel that they have the license to just tell a total stranger, someone that feels that when they hear the word diabetes, they already know that person's whole medical history. They already know, oh, you haven't been right with your body. Now I know what you need. And I'm like saying to myself, oh my goodness, if you only knew how dumb you sound. No one would ever do that to someone, you know. But for some reason with diabetes, people feel that they have a right or they owe you something. As though 350 million, you know, 350 million people who have diabetes. They're diabetic because all of them, they don't know how to take care of themselves. You know, all of these 350 million people resist the cure. 350 million people at some point in their life, they've never heard what you heard. You know, people who don't have diabetes somehow think that there's some herb in the jungle that I can take. They'll give me the name of the website, or they'll give me the name of the company. You can order the product that'll get rid of diabetes. And they have no idea. And even, oh my goodness, this is such a big subject. Maybe I should have saved it for another time. But, like I said, diabetes is a personal thing. And while at the same time, some of us appreciate the input, not every diabetic is open to that. And I really think that if you really want to help a diabetic, just wait till you're asked. Wait till that person opened the lines of communication, and then you can say your opinion. But again, as I've always said, diabetes is a very complicated disease, very complicated, and it's also a personal disease, and everyone needs to find their own way of taking care of their diabetes, since it is for life. And it doesn't mean that you can't use herbs. It doesn't mean you can't use natural remedies to try to take care of your diabetes. I'm just saying, be careful. It's more than just jumping on the first product you hear about. And like I said, diabetes is for life, regardless of what kind of diabetes you have. And until we can find a cure, a true cure, to where we take a pill, or we drink something or whatever for a short period of time, and hopefully we won't have to do it anymore. And again, diabetes is more than just being overweight. Do you know, if some of you, and I know I'm getting a lot of new visitors and subscribers every day to my blog, I really recommend that you listen to the interview I did with Dr. Rivka Roth. And she said that many of us have gotten diabetes long before we've gained weight. So you can say, and I've read some other studies alluding to the same thing, you can say that diabetes is not the cause, that weight is not the cause of diabetes, but rather a side effect of having diabetes. And unfortunately, when we do gain weight, some of us, It does make the diabetes a lot harder to deal with. And keep in mind, I'm not saying that we can't lose weight. I'm just saying that the struggle for each individual is increasing when we gain weight, and that's just one of the complications of having diabetes. I want you guys to think about something. Okay, I want you guys to really seriously think about something. Why is it that when you look at these TV shows about weight loss, when you look at The Biggest Loser and stuff like that, and I'm not shooting those shows down. I am not shooting them down in any way, shape, or form. But the reality is, why do you think that these type of shows almost never show a follow-up to a last participant? 6 months, a year later, why they most don't show follow-ups? It's because most of those people gain it again. At some point, they gain weight back. When you go through a vigorous weight loss where you deprive yourself, of so many things to lose weight at an X amount of time just to, make a show, okay? X amount of time, you lose the weight, you go through all this vigorous exercise to, lose all this weight. At some point, your body's going to retaliate, and it's going to gain, if not most, all of that weight back. There is no magic to diabetes, guys. There's no magic. If there's anything that I want to get across to my viewers, is that there is no quick magic fix to diabetes. I don't give a shit what you heard. There's no, and we got again, and I don't mean to beat a dead horse, because I know I probably said it 50 gazillion times already on a blog. But the only way that we can educate people who don't have diabetes is to read ourselves. Is to know what diabetes means for ourselves, what things work for us as individuals, what doesn't, and to do whatever it takes to control and maintain your diabetes without killing yourself. And what I mean by that is, making sure that you're careful and you do your research and you read about every single herb and medication that your doctor prescribes to you. Know that you only have one body, and your body should be important to you. Love yourself enough to stop, take a minute, and read about what you're ingesting. And just don't look at the label on the product and let it sell you all these magic promises. Just read it for what it is. It may or may not have some benefits. It is not a cure. That's it. So I think I've talked a little bit too much today, so I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it really helps out. And again, I love doing these videos, and I look forward to doing my next one. Bye, guys. See you.